Hello, can you
Yes,
confirm?
sir.
Hello.
Morning.
Am I audible? Klaro, dili, or naay mga unsa na noise?
Claro, sir.
Taro. Taro, sir.
Okay, that's good. Sige. All right. So, good morning, programmers. By the way, where's everyone? Seems like we have only one fourth of the class. Okay. So anyway, I will just wait for the others to come in. So I called up this meeting because uh, we are now going to arrange our schedules in in terms of the order of the project presentations. Okay, but before that, I'll have to discuss one more another topics, no. So sige, siguro this will take like 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, sige. So let's start off with our first topic. So, in in the principles of object-oriented programming, which is if happens that you will pass the subject, no, you will complete the mere fact that you have your projects is that you're going to I'm going to evaluate or assess your skills and knowledge on this particular programming language so that you're able to move on to the next level, which is in the summer if you're going to take the course that is prerequisite to this is which is object oriented principles. So this is now the beginning of OOP. So but I'm not gonna be spoiling anything. We're just going to uh, do what it's like with applying or implementing OOP or object-oriented principles. So in and transitions data would be from programming one. You were introduced to a C++ programming language, and then in C plus here in programming two you are introduced to a different programming language which is relative to C++. So I guess these two courses are uh, making you uh, a little bit of like equipped, no, or somehow being equipped with the things or necessary things you will need to understand on how to actually formulate our logic. So basically programming one and two are actually the development of logical thinking and analysis on actually uh, how you actually solve problems, on how you actually deal with like providing solutions to certain problems. So basically, or most definitely, you have been into most likely no mga business logic, no mga logical thinking. All right, so that's actually which is actually your ticket to learn advanced programming. So basically, yung sinabi ko na object-oriented principles, that would be an advanced programming. It's just a concept. You can actually like apply it to many different programming languages. In fact, most of the, if not all, no, most of the programming languages are a full-blown OOP. Because as we all know, that thing we called OOP is that's a what an industry is gonna be need what industry is looking for an IT, no, if ever you are going to pursue your career as a software engineer. So we'll have to really learn object oriented principles. So one way to learn OOP is to, of course, to learn the basics, to know what it's like having these things in a manner na you are actually able to organize your codes in a method. That's actually basically the thing. So right now, because of the advent of technology, let's say taking the idea of an array is usually it is used for making us as a programmers to at least learn the basic, the hard way. So that's basically the thing why array is there and why it's taught to you, know, as the future software engineers. So I'm not saying that you're no longer using arrays in the future, especially if you are going to be a programmer soon or in the future. There's it's still there, but I mean it's still there. Some part of the development, you were gonna be using arrays, but most of it are only parang ano na lang, no, dili na kay siya inana ka useful. Okay, the things you might be using are dynamic arrays. So in the essence of object-oriented principles, yeah. So wait, okay, let's just create a class here. Okay, so you haven't had any idea of the data structures and algorithms yet. But when we talk about this too, no, what they call this one, uh, concepts in programming, no, data structures and algorithms, as well as object-oriented programming, these are really the things that you will need to really understand thoroughly, especially OOP, because when we are going to have our data structures, things that you will be doing there are focusing on the different algorithms and techniques, and you will be most definitely applying the or implementing the object-oriented principles. So without learning OOP, you cannot. It's really difficult for you to learn the idea of the data structures and algorithms. Okay, so when we speak of arrays are like these are like storage. No, these are but again, as its concept says that it's only storing data temporarily, because the moment you exit your program or the program is going to terminate, everything else will be evaporated. Okay, so then we have here the text files. So the essence or the idea of a text file is that it's also giving you an option. It's also giving you an idea on how to keep and manage the data in a way that it is permanently stored. Unlike when it is actually unlike kung what do you call this one? I mean, these things are most definitely the primitive ones. And obviously, pag moabot mo into like second year, you will have your advanced courses like database, which is the idea comes from text files. Now, if you've heard of MySQL, this is a third generation language which allows you to access the data rather than the data is included in the what they call this one in your rather than the data is included in the program. So if you guys want to learn more about those, so it's in my YouTube channel. You can actually watch it para in advance. Pwede niyo makita. So I am going to para in advance no makita ninyo on kasi if you have like your free time, I'm not endorsing my ano, but somehow it's something like that. Ayaw mo ka sana. At least no na alam mo pwede mo maka-learn from this one. So you may be now or laughing now. Kaya I'm not endorsing, but it's like that. But it's somehow like that. So I have here series of tutorials, particularly on the database. If you guys want to learn more on it, there's also OOP, but it's not complete yet. There's data structures and algorithm here. So let's go to database. So if you have like mga ano na free time, no, you have your free time, you can have here the database tutorials, in which things are things that you have learned from text files. All those things are gonna be like, oh, naman ay mas pinakasayon, no, rather than mag text file pa ko. But again, I would just like to elaborate that learning text files or file handling management is a compulsory, because this will allow us to appreciate the things that are in the present. Okay? So, which is mauman dyan ang idea, no? For you to learn the presence of the new ones, you'll have to experience those that are invented previously, or katong during during in the that happened in the past. So in ana man yun na siya. Okay, but again, I still, no, file kaning ginatawag nato og mga files file systems or file management are still here. Naghihapon na siya diri sa even sa program. I mean, dili na siya mawala because it's always there. In fact, kung mapansin nato kanang mga gihimo ta og let's say natay directory, local disk C, local disk D, and when we create a folder, when we create a Microsoft Word, a PowerPoint, Notepad, or whatever files we store or we keep in our directory, it's actually file system. So most definitely, only that ang atong gibuhat lang is that naalang ta UI to do that, no, like maghimo ta og Microsoft Word. It's actually file system. You store or you create a file, which is a Word file, and then you store it to your directory, your drive D or your drive C. So it's still there, wala gyapon na siya na ano. In fact, kung ano ka sa mga like na kay mga installation or mag-install ka og mga software, diba, it creates folders to local disk C. So that's also the idea of file systems. No, it's not something na mawala jud siya. Okay? So, but of course, in terms of development, we are going to focus on what it's like to access the data rather than the idea of doing file systems, because our most frameworks, most programming languages are going to do that for us. Okay? So now let's go back to this one. So speaking of the arrays, ayon. So the drawbacks of arrays are I mean primitive arrays are because of this, they are actually going to handle data only in a like fixed length. So meaning to say, you'll have to declare as much as size, up to this size lang siya pwede maka ano og data, no, maka manage. So because nga it's fixed, okay, and it's something na of course in terms of development it's not okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna be introducing to you dynamic arrays. So dynamic arrays, or these arrays, are the product of object-oriented principles and data structures and algorithms. Without this idea, without the idea of OOP and DSA, or data structures and algorithms, these things like we call dynamic arrays cannot be like alone, or cannot be present. So it's basically coming from the concepts of OOP and data structures and algorithms. So again, you have been learning different programming languages now, and these concepts, OOP and data structures, it's up to you where do you want to apply it. Okay? So now we'll have dynamic arrays. So what are the dynamic arrays? There are actually a lot in Java. So there's one that is called ArrayList. Okay, so ArrayList is actually a dynamic array under Java.util. If you've heard of this, if you seen this in any of your parang pagpangita niyo sa Google. So we have here our list new. So since it is a class, so let's omit this one muna. So since this is a class under java.util package library, you will have to instantiate it. Okay? So when you instantiate it like this, so this is the object now, and this creates a storage already. So you don't have to specify whether you want to store only 10, like 15 or what. But of course, we can always set an initial size for our array list. Let's say we have here 10, we have here 5, we have here 100. But again, as time went by or as time go, I mean, the moment you keep on entering data, the moment on you keep on adding data, this will expand its capacity. And then the moment you will delete that data, this will also shrink its capacity. So mo expand mo dako mo gamay lang siya, no? So, di ba? Anad man ganahan mo nang mo dako mo gamay. O sige. So, now if we talk about how do we add data to certain to this array dynamic array, so you just have to add. So, kailangan lang mo siya i-click add. So, and then you can now add data, something like that. Though, syempre, in array, the way you do that is you do like this, no? So, let's say if our list is an array, diba? What you will do is you do this one. You do like index is equal to kung usang index, mangita pa ka variable for this one, and then you do something like 12. That's how you do it array. No, sir, wala may kabaguhan. Mura naman siya nag-ano. Yes, wala. But this one is like you're having here a method. Okay? You're having here a method that says you're adding 12 to array list. And what's the best about this dynamic arrays is that you can store different data. Like I can store here apple, a string. I cannot do that in array, because I'll need to, an array is only going to take uh, data type, one data type per use. So meaning if I have declared array as integer, it will only take integer values. So in fact, kung magamit ka og array list, this will allow you to store different data, different types of data. Okay, you can even store here anything like a character. So as long as it's an object, okay, you can even store here um, true or false. Okay, something like that. See, so it's dynamic arrays. You don't have to specify a what they call this one, a number. Everything else will be driven by a method. So just have to add. Okay. And if you guys want to add, or let's say add a certain data to a specific index, you just have to do this one. So example, because this is yan, OOP ni siya. Yan, duha ka book method. So ma-discuss natin ni po sa OOP. So this means that I'm going to insert. So this is like insert data at a certain or specific. I want to insert this one, replacing the apple. So let's say this is banana. Okay. So now, if I'm going to display this one, remember, when we display data in array, we do loops, right? But did you know that in array list is, you just have to call the list, something like this one, and you're able to display the data or your data. So in array, what you will do is you will have to do loops para makita nimo ang elements na imuhang input. So in array list, you don't have to do that anymore. You just have to call the object itself, ArrayList, so you're able to display this data. So 12 apple, 15.5 in F. And then as you can see at line 16, you have here ArrayList that add, then banana. Then you have inserted banana at index 1. Then therefore, it replaces the apple. So apple is cascading to the right. So that's it. No? So what else more we can have here? So when you want to edit, so you just have to call set. So I want to edit the one, which is, let's say, banana. I am going to change it to orange. So if I'm going to display that, obviously, the banana will be changed to orange. So as easy as that, as simple as that. So kung sa array or sa array pa na, you have to have really having a hard time doing that. Okay? Sige. So, how about delete, sir? Okay. So, in deletion, it's no sweat at all because you just have to use remove. So, when you want to remove index 2, index 3, just have to do that. You can even remove, okay, you can even remove as like an object or the something like a data itself rather than using this one. So if this is invoked, this therefore in any data that is in index 2 and app that says apple will be removed. So leaving us with the elements have we have here 12 orange 15.5. So apple is now deleted as well as index 0 1. So that's actually index 2. So let's have index 3. Okay, so that's it. No, apple as well as 15.5. So, ayan, it's as simple as that. How about, sir, mag-search? Okay, our list also have this default or method, no, built-in method that says contains. So, this will return true or false. If you wanna, let's say, look for a value, ayan. So, this will be, so parang ibutang nato na siya sa ano. Okay. Okay, so you can do this by like if you want to put this in a condition, so you can have like this one, our list that contains orange. So what you will do then? So it's up to you if what do you want to do. So whatever you do here, okay, whatever you do here. So as simple as that. There's not much more loops, right? So anything else here? Yeah, it's up to you. What do you do with that? So medyo kulang din siya. Now, sir, pwede ba na siya partneran og loop? Yes, of course. You can have here different, you can have here loops. Example, if I wanna access a value, uh, like I wanna access certain data from that, so I just have to call get. So I can do like this, get one. So meaning get one is it's the index one. So you're not going to have sa array therefore imuhanin siyang i-pulihan lang nimo na siya og index, right? So but again, so what I'm saying is katong sa loop, pwede niyo partneran og loop. Let's say I is equal to 0, I is less than, let's say, our list that size, okay, and then I plus plus. So of course, if you want to display all of those data from your file, you just have to do get I, something like that. Okay, so yeah, print line ba na siya, no? Okay, so you can also do for each loop. Yeah. So the things you can do here in ArrayList are this one. Everything that are here are things you can use for for your program using ArrayList. Yeah, so you can also you can even create a condition if an array list is empty or not. Like if it's empty or not, of course it's easy to do that in array. You just have to ano if array has an index of like this, but it's medyo dili siya ana ka dali. But in array list, you can call this is empty. Then this will return true if there's no data in or elements in your array list. This will return false if there is already data. Yeah, and yeah, so there are more to this one. Okay, so ayan, it's a method driven array. Okay, so you don't have to create probably mga methods because it's already encapsulated. So that's the idea of uh, what they call uh, object-oriented principles. So now there's also what they call this one. Pwede mo siya ano na integer lang iyang i-store, no? So like for an instance, I want my array list to only store integer value. So ayan, if you want na integer lang, so kani siya error na ni siya. So integer lang iyang dawaton. So if you can, as you can see, you can notice line 9 is only like having 12 only, no? I mean 12 lang ang i-accept niya na value. So you can even change this to string if you want na string lang iyang i-accept. Okay? But again, if you don't want to use that, you can make your arrays or your array list as dynamic, and it's expanding and it's going to shrink its size all by itself, okay, without compromising how much data are we going to put in there. So that's definitely arrays. Okay, so himo lang kag menu ana, just like what we did. Then add ina dali na lang jud kay siya, no? Call na lang kag inani. So there's also another array another family of a list which is called vector. So I'm going to import this one. So this is also under util. So vector, yan. So actually wala kay sila kalahian. So I changed the vector from array list to vector. So as you can see, there's no error because again everything that you can use in ArrayList are also the same na magamit nato sa vector. Naalang sila'y medyo kalahian, which is kani si let's say ArrayList that capacity. So kani man gud si capacity it's not present in the ArrayList. Siya balik nato sa ArrayList. Yeah, so it's not capacity is not available in ArrayList, but it's available in vector. Okay, so that's one thing na isa sa mga methods na wala kay ArrayList. But again, they are all family. ArrayList, arrays, ArrayList, linked list, vector, stack queues are all data structures, and they are all comes in the list family. So that's basically the dynamic array. So if you guys want to use this one, it's up to you. Just have to explore. But I'm gonna be elaborating more on this in object-oriented principles. So yan, that's it for dynamic arrays. So any questions so far? How is that tell you? Hello?
Sir.
Yes. Yes, Robert?
Wala sir, wala sir.
Wala.
Anong tanong?
Oh, okay, sige. So that's it. Now that's the
Sir,
idea of the... yes, Joseph. Mm-mm.
sir, kanang fan ba? Kanang
Sa kanang,
nag-PM
sa
ko sa
man ka na?
master ba?
Ah?
Nag-PM ko sa master ba?
Nag-PM ka sa kuha.
Pwede isin, sir.
Wait, ako mag-headset na lang ko. Oh, yes. Oo. Ha?
Isin lang po, sir.
Sige, isin ako to later on. Alright, sige. So we are now down to nakoy flu. Sige. Now, we are now down to arrange our schedules, your schedules for project presentation. All right then. So, ay na nyo pansina lang sa ha. Okay. So, by the way, congratulations sa mga nag-top, no? Top 10 nato na students sa prelim and midterm. So, but that does not guarantee passing sa ano. Okay, sige. So, now I am just going to get this, I don't know, this kanina mga tao, putang na ko rin. Okay. All right. So, all right, sige. So, atong buhaton karon would be ano to sa schedule nato. So, let's check on the calendar. So, we'll start doing our presentation on Thursday next week, 28 and 29. So, 28, 29. Okay? So, wait lang. What happened? Okay, so let's have here butang sa dates. April 28. So April 29. And let's we also have 30. April 30. Okay, so next after that is 5 and 6. Okay, so May 5 and then May 6 to 7. So kani siya sa special sa ano din ni 2552B dining Saturday. So 5 28, 29, 5, 6 and then reserve na to ng May 7 for 2552B and then we'll have what's next after that sa isunod sa 5, 6 wait lang kaya hindi na ako mamove. So 5, 6, 12, 13. Oh yeah, 12, 13. Last natong presentation would be May 12, 13. May 12 to May 13. Okay, ayan. That's it. Alright, so niya to ang presentation schedule starting off this next week, 28, 29. So, is there anyone from you na mag-volunteer? Para dili na ta mag-bunot-bunot. So, kinsay mag-volunteer sa 28, 29. So, ang pinaka kung 28, 29 mo, if naapay ipa-edit or i-recommend na i-change inyong program, napa mo'y time. No? So, kaysa sa dito mo sa pinaka-last. So, how is that tell you? I'm waiting. Karen? Yes, Karen.
Sir, kinasa na yung answer final nga exam?
Final exam? Wala na tayo final exam. Mauna ni.
Mauna ni siya, sir.
Oo. Nalang ko'y ipatake sa inyo ha na magkuha ko dito og na ako'y baseline dito na di ba naman tay buhato na mag-interview ta to individual interview.
Yes, sir. Itong question ni mo, sir.
Question. So nalang ko'y ipa-take sa inyo ha na kung basta na ako'y baseline na kung maabot mo ato na score, dili na nata mo i-appeal sa question and answer. Diretso na mo project presentation lang. Present na nyo yung project.
Pila gani ka individual imong pilion ato, sir, anak ka?
What do you mean pila ka individual?
Ito nag-ingon nga kuan mga 10 ka book na.
Dili pa ko certain kay tanaw na ko kung top 10 ba or ang baseline. Na ko'y baseline na score. So meaning pag may kog top 10, ang top 10 lang akong kwaon. Pero kung may kog na baseline na dapat out let's say 100 items, dapat makakuha mo og 80 pataas, 80 to 100. So kung na 20 ka buok sa inyo makakuha 80 to 100, so mao to sila ang mag dili na appeal. Okay? Exempted na to sila sa question and answer. Pero kung mayon kog top 10 lang, regardless kung nakakuha 80, so tanawon pa nako ang trends sa score. So baseline akong tanawon.
Sige,
Ako may mag-set sa baseline. Okay? So it's either in between kana diha. Mag-set ko baseline or mag-set ko og kung top 10 ba or inana. Top 10 or baseline sa depende kung pila ka book makuha sa inaana na score. Sige. So, now, sige na. Let's make it fast. Naay mag-volunteer or usaman ano na ta? Bunot-bunot? Bunot-bunot na lang ta?
Sir.
Or volunteer sa inyo ha? So, unsa man? Ang mga langga, unsa man inyo ang gusto? Isa'y mag-volunteer. Wala yung mag-volunteer. Okay, sige. So, kung wala'y mag-volunteer, then I'll be the one to volunteer for yourselves. No? So, ako na lang mag-volunteer para sa inyo ha. Okay, sige. Para fair sa tanan, wait lang. Nalang ko'y pangutanon kung sana ko i-share screen ha. Nalang ko'y pangutanon. Kani si ako sang i-check ha. Kani si Alcala, naapa ni?
Naapa na, sir.
Surviving pa ni?
Ata, sir.
Sige, ata. Kani si Kabalida?
Naapod, sir.
Napapod. Okay. Kani si Cavada, napapod.
Naa, sir.
Okay. Umangon mga sabit-sabit kayo mga activity ba? I thought wala na ni sila ganahi. Kinani si Daraman, Joseph, napa?
Naa, sir.
Okay, napa. Si Federe, Carl, naa kay nibawi ni pagka midterm. Okay siya, naapa di ay. So nibawi pagka midterm, si Guzman nibawi pagka midterm. So congratulations sa mga ningbawi, no? Naiuban ni bawi, naiuban nag-decline ang scores. So, kanio si Labanon, asa si Rafi Labanon? Na si Rafi dire? Wala. Medyo nibawi ni siya sa midterm. Si Lisondra Raven, nakabawi po siya sa midterm.
Pila, sir?
Ni catch up. Basta kabalo na sila na naman sa Edmodo yung grades. Si Mamaki Huwag bawi-bawi. Napas mamaki, wala na ni. Kaya dili na nato i-appeal ba para masayang ang slots ba? Di na ko i-appeal sa presentation. Napa ni si mamaki, wala.
Naapa man, sir.
Napa, sir.
Okay. Pero ihang trend manggod sa ihang declining ihang grade. Sige. So far daghang nibawi, no? So good thing na nakita na medyo okay ang mga performance niyo sa midterm. So most likely majority sa inyo nakapasa sa midterm. Si Realiza Anthony, napa ni?
Yes, sir. Napa, sir.
Romero Freely.
Napa na, sir.
Napa ni? Oh, pero nga naman ni wala man ni nang bawi sa Sarabia, Saicon, napa ni? Sarabia and Saicon. O ini tingog. Sarabia o si Saicon, napa?
Si Sarabia, naman to ganyan.
Okay.
Nara, sir.
Anani sila. Okay. Sige, i-appeal na lang nako sa ato ang Asa man ato ni butang sa ruleta or sa ba? Ato ni pag kasi pinakadali na bunot-bunot ani. Itatag online roulette. Itatag online roulette. There is pero naman yata ko'y randomization, random na program. Wait. Medyo maglisod pa ako pangita kung may tawag. Sa mga itatag ruleta na kapoy mga ruleta kay isa-isahon pa.
Wheels.
Ha?
Itong, sir, wheels of name.
Wheels of name, pero isa-isa palagi. Magsigdandag, patuyok, patuyok. Di ba? Medyo hassle, dugay. Pero sige lang, atong itata. Online roulette. Asa naman eh. Dugaya ba sa akong internet? Asa naman mo, while waiting, asa naman mo sa inyong program? Striving and thriving?
Sir.
Oo.
Na-stop sa list of
kung hapit na kompleto. Almost perfect na. Kung sa inyong mga programs, pag tinabangay mo, mag-meet, magkuyog, mag-uban, kaubag bilar, kauban og magkauban og tulog. Hindi magbilar instead na matulog, instead na magmo og program, magbilar og katulog.
Sir, pwede mag-ask, sir.
Oh yeah, pwede kayo.
Sir, dili na jud na mabago imong decision, sir. Pwede i-video na lang.
Dili ko mang video. Tanahon lang. Kung magtipid ko sa oras, tanahon lang.
Salamat. Unta, sir, mabago, sir.
Anong di man mo gusto face to face? Usan eh?
Laban rin.
Ay, magkaulaw eh. Pa second year naman good mo. So, tanahon na to kung daghan ba jud na learn. Tanahon to kung everyone is really doing well. So, para maanad pud mo online. Mag face to face sabi ata next week, next school year, di ba? So, laban lang daw. Wheel of names, wheel of fortune, roulette di ay wait tayo. Naman ko'y program pero naka-text file siya tapos isa lang kadaganan kita na pero abot asa na ako to nabutang. Ganito ko makita pa na ako.